Welcome to June, Dave. It's getting busy around this place.
Yeah. Welcome to June. A few days late, but hey, life comes at you fast, and you have to deal with it. But that's okay. It's summertime. Lots of good things coming up, including a nationals.
Well, if we get all this out, we'll be doing well.
Yes.
June's a long month for episode drops, and given that we're recording this on June 7th, we've already dropped one of them.
Yeah.
Well, let's give a rundown of what's going on in June, Dave. Of course, we've already dropped episode 91, and our friend Adam Coleman came on the show and talked about his experience at the Mojo show in Hungary, and man, was that really, really interesting. So if you haven't checked that out, folks need to.
Yes, absolutely. And a lot of listeners who have already listened to it, I mean, they had the exact same reaction as you and I, almost a disbelief that show was put on not by some hobby club, but by the town itself. And that's just, and it sounds like a bucket list show. You and I, we need to figure out a way to go to Hungary. Maybe we can justify it with research on the Reba Botan, something. but we got to get there.
I tell you, man, I think it's not just disbelief that the show's put on the way it is, but there's a lot of things in and around that show and the contest. I think ought to cause a lot of disbelief between some of the dyed-in-the-wool folks in our circles that thinks things ought to be done a certain way.
Yep. No, absolutely. It does show that at least in other countries, things are not the same. And maybe some of those lessons can be adapted to stuff here. Again, it's on the bucket list now. I'm not sure how I'm getting to Hungary. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm going to sell my wife on to get us to Hungary.
Well, you're not driving, I tell you.
Well, yeah, I'm not driving. That's for sure. And I can fly for cheap. So, I've got no excuse, but I got to get that done. That was an awesome episode.
Well, to finish out what's going on in June, coming up next is episode 92, and we're going to have a chat amongst ourselves about prepping for attending the national convention, the IPMS National Convention, because that's coming up first week of August.
Yes.
And folks, you need to get your registration in. I think pre-registration closes the end of this month.
Yep.
So you're gonna want to do that, and that will probably be on our list to prep. So there's a clue there.
There. Yeah. Let me tell you, I've done this. I think this will be my 27th national, and over the years, I will say I've learned a lot, and there's a lot you can do if you're going to go to a nationals and you haven't been to one before, or you've only been to one or two. There's a lot you can do to make your experience more enjoyable by planning ahead of time. So we're going to talk about that, and I'm actually looking forward to that conversation.
And after that, this is a 3-drop month. We got 3 episodes coming in June, so we'll work our way up to 93, Dave. And for 93, we're going to have our roughly quarterly appearance by Dr. Strangebrush.
I'm looking forward to that.
And this will probably be a potpourri of topics because, as folks may have seen on the dojo, Dr. Miller is soliciting questions via the Model Paint Solutions website. I've posted that link once on the dojo. I might refresh that to get it up there again before the end of the month.
Definitely.
I think what's happening is there's going to be a prize opportunity selected from the folks who make their submissions, and he's got a little something for somebody. So I encourage folks to get in on that if they want to. Questions can be anything: painting, construction, whatever. He's calling it Stump the Airbrush Chump, which maybe kind of skews it toward airbrushing, but John does a lot, and he does a lot of things pretty well. So send in your questions.
Yep. And John is, as I've said with, in general, modelers that you meet who are really, really good modelers, and John is one, I've found with rare exception, they are absolutely not only willing, but anxious to share what they've learned with you. A lot of this stuff comes from trial and error and experimenting. We talked about that with Steve and how much time that he spends experimenting on something to try before he actually tries the technique on a model. And that's knowledge that's wonderful to share with folks who are just approaching that stuff.
Well, being June as busy as it is, and really there's not a lot of IPMS shows in our region in June. I'm going on vacation, but I know you got plans. In fact, this weekend, folks.
This weekend I will be at Wonderfest. I've already reached out to some people I know who are coming in, and I want to try and meet up with everybody, and I'm not sure exactly how we're going to do that. But if you've ever been to the Wonderfest show, it's really impressive. Not only is the model show portion impressive, but that's just one small part of something that blends a film festival with a Comic Con with a model show. It's awesome. And I urge you, if you've got a chance to come to Louisville this weekend to go to the show, it's well worth doing.
Well, you'll be attending Saturday, June 10th, right, Dave?
Yes, I will. The show is a multi-day show, but I know for sure that I'm going to be there on the 10th. Unfortunately, because you're on vacation, you won't be with me. But I'm going to be doing reporting from the show, and I'm going to post videos. I'm going to hook up with a bunch of listeners who've reached out, and I can't wait.
Well, you mentioned it in the last episode 91, but I want you to tell folks how they can find you, since there won't be a Mojo table set up.
Yes, there will not be a Mojo table set up. You'll find me by looking for me in a black and white checkered shirt with plastic model Mojo logos plastered all over it. I'm going to try and reach out to folks who've reached out to me to try and set up some timed arranged meetings, but I will be all over the convention Saturday afternoon. And, I'm going to have the video camera in hand and trying to shoot a lot. I'm going to try and maybe record a little. We'll see what happens, but I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of the folks there.
Well, Dave, to wrap things up for the 12-minute Modelsphere, things have been kind of kicking over the dojo lately. We have a lot of submissions of late, a lot of new folks joining. I think yes. I saw tonight we're up to around the rough numbers 2,200.
Yes. In fact, we've had a rush of, we were talking about this with the other moderators of the dojo this morning, that we've had a rush of new folks applying to join the dojo, 25 a day for the last couple of days. So that's awesome. If you've joined the dojo on Facebook, please post photos of what you're working on. Post other stuff too. I mean, if you're out there and you're at a museum or something or whatever, feel free to post that. But please post your work. That is the stuff that I get the biggest kick out of, because I'm seeing stuff that I've not seen before. There's almost always a question that occurs to me when I see some in progress. Hey, how did you do that? Or that, what set of markings is that? Or where'd you get those decals? So please continue to do that. It's a really thriving group. I've been neglecting it a little myself because of some personal stuff going on, but I'll be diving back in, and I can't wait to see all the stuff there.
Well, did you have a favorite post in the last few days?
I knew you were going to ask me something that I didn't have an immediate answer for.
We may have the same one.
Okay. What's yours? Go ahead.
And it's odd because it's not armor related, but Stuart Halton posted a walk around that Dyna.
Yes, absolutely. And he actually...
Where is that plane?
That is the one and only existing Dyna in the world. That is at the Imperial War Museum, or is it the Imperial War Museum or the Royal Air Force Museum? One or the other. It's in England.
Okay.
I know Evan has a real interest in this aircraft. So I'm hoping that he'll take a look at this and we can get him building a 72nd scale Dyna, because there's a really great kit out there. So I find the photos inspiring, and I hope others do as well.
Well, keep it up, folks. And Dave, I will see you for episode 92.
You got it.